everyone, Dragon Souls here. Welcome to this little tutorial. I'm going to try my best to, for those who are like Daryl and don't know what you need to do, how to do this and how to do that, like crafting and stuff like that, okay? First of all, most importantly, what you need to do every time you get certain things done, like looking at these here, you know, and you're done looking at that, or you're going in here. When you grab things, you most importantly need to go ahead and take anything in your inventory. If you ain't got hardly, if you only got like this much space right here, or this much space right here, and you ain't got this much space like I do, then you most definitely need to take some. If your inventory is completely full, come back in here to the safe room, and then put them in here. Okay. Now, if you have things like an orb, if you got an orb and you need to put it in here, you can grab this and put it back into here, and then get out of there, and then what you can do is before we get into that in the crafting part, okay? What you can do is when you get done crafting everything, come in here and you can always save your game. Don't never go ahead and do like this here, like here and here, and just keep going here. Because most importantly, what's gonna eventually gonna happen if you keep making new save files, it will eventually make your game crash or something, and screw your game up big time. So you cannot, I repeat, you cannot even delete your game and your game save, because I just tried to do with Daryl's and you cannot do it. So and I do not know how to undo all this here. So you're screwed if you do this, okay? I haven't had no problem with my game yet. They haven't patched it yet, and as far as I know, they don't need to patch it, okay? So, with that being said, hit the triangle button. Now, as for crafting, when it comes to bullets wise, you don't, if your gun's full, if your gun is full, all you have to do is hit the box button. I call it a box. You can call it whatever you want to call it, and then she'll reload her gun. Okay. Now, now as for anything else, that is, and I'm gonna do this here because that way, if I accidentally hit a button, it won't trigger me wasting a damn bullet. So. This is very important to keep in your inventory because it increases knife power and whatever the hell the other one is. So that's very important that you keep it in there. Now here is the crafting items, everyone, where you go and craft. Or you got to get into here, you had to push R1. Okay. When you always come into here. You always go into you always had to hit R1 once to get in here, okay? And if you have plenty of scrap metals and you have plenty of blood, if you got plenty of blood like this here, and you got plenty of scrap. Or if you put all the scrap in here, like I usually do, you can easily, say for example this here, I'm going to go ahead and put that in there for example, and see if I got any more, so I don't have any more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go here where it says combined, and you can do this here, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and do this. And look at this here. I'm going to show y'all an example. See, this here. Now I did not know this. Okay. And I'm gonna give a big shout out to Tyrone Magnus for this. Okay, he live streamed his gameplay earlier today, and I did not know that these bullets. Cause see, I was trying to automatically to try to put them into the gun that Leon gave me into the gun, and it would not work. I didn't know what they was for, how to use them, or anything. And then found out what you gotta do is you gotta equip it, and you hit the button. When you hit the button, hit the reload button, it puts the bullets into the gun. So now I got five bullets, and two of them in the chambers for me to reload it if I need to, which is freaking awesome. Okay, now I'm gonna change it, put that back over there, and now what you can do is, like, for example, okay, you got plenty of blood. If you got 150 blood, percent of blood in that one thing, and you got plenty of scrap metal, you go into here, and it'll tell you you can sit here and craft you more ammo or whatever you want to craft, which is fucking awesome. Even that stuff that you can shoot off and sneak behind them and hit them with, put them in there and inject them with that shit, you know, and then destroy them completely. They'll be completely gone. It'll blow them up, which is very awesome. Um, One thing you do not want to do, and I learned this from Daryl Lumpkins, who done this by accident, and you can undo that screw up too. By the way, when it says scrap, and it'll say, do you want to scrap the knife? You hit yes. If you hold it down, you'll scrap the knife. It'll tear the knife apart in pieces, and where where you can't use the knife anymore. But but it gives you an option. It gives you an option right here. Right here, it'll give you an option to sit here and recreate that knife again. Will it make it a brand new knife again? I do not know, because I've never done that before. So I do know is you can, and once you destroy that knife, even though it's almost half broken, and it's nearly broken, you can easily recraft it and make it a brand and recraft it and bring that knife back together again, which is fucking awesome. So I do gotta give a big shout out, and I do want to give a big massive shout out to Daryl, for showing me this here as well. I want to show y'all something. Okay, you go to options, and then you can see here, and you go to third. You can either make it go to first person mode or third person mode. And as for Leon, same thing with him. I didn't, and see, that last time when I did my first gameplay of it, my premiere stream of it, I wasn't even thinking about it, you know, at all. And I was trying to hit all kinds of buttons, and it didn't work. I was like, oh well, fuck it, I'll figure it out later. Daryl came in and said, when we was talking in the party chat, he said, you know how you do that, don't you? I said, what's that? I said, you go in, and that's where he showed me. You gotta go into options and pause the game, go into options, and go into here. So big massive shout out to Daryl for showing me that. Okay. But the reason why it didn't bother me none with her being in first person mode is because it was because I played and beat Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8, so it didn't even phase me none. If for Daryl's wondering, Daryl or anybody else wondering, why didn't it phase you? Because I've already beaten Resident Evil 7 and 8 in first person mode, so it's a cake in it's a walk in the park for me. I mean, I'm used to it. But yeah, but that's what you gotta do, everyone. Go in, all you gotta do, hit the triangle to go to the inventory, hit R1, and then whenever you pick up scrap metal, you have plenty of blood, you come in here, you can either craft a knife, you can also craft ammo for your guns, okay? Or you can craft whatever else you need. Like this one here, you can do this here. Anything that's on the list, you can do. You can craft if you have it. Okay? But yeah, that's gonna be it for this little tutorial about how does this stuff work. You know, but as I said before, and I'm gonna say it again. When you make when you get so far into the game, and you want to save your game, and you get to this part where it says save, you're gonna want to sit here, click on here. It'll ask you, do you want to override? You say yes, and then when you save the game, that's it. It'll kick you out. It'll kick you out of that, and there you go. So if you die or you shut your game out, if you get so bored you just want to stop playing for a while, you can go ahead and do that because you saved, and it won't. And all your progress will be saved, and then it'll start you back right here again. So that way you can go ahead and continue on what you was doing. Okay. Do not screw up like Daryl done. Daryl went off and sitting and got mad. He got lost, you know, didn't know where to go, and he didn't save his game. And then when he did, he shut the game down and came back, and everything he did, it undid it because he didn't save his game. Do not make that mistake. Okay? Do not make that mistake. And I think Daryl learned his lesson on that one. And I think now for here on out, he will save his game at all times. Thanks for watching, everyone, and y'all have a wonderful day, and hopefully I'll see y'all tomorrow. Like, subscribe, leave your comments on the video, and I'll see you all on the next one.
PlayStation